just went in a circle, dude. You like unironically went circular in 3 exchanges. So on the high tier combo.
This is actually
the
absurd.
high tier conversation. Yeah, it's just like
Haram high tier was that was not a Q for you.
Wait, hold on, shut up. Like for the fucking Conquest fight, we literally see that like bloodlusted, like rage amp Mark is like punching Conquest as hard as he can 10 times and can't damage the guy at all, right? So it's just kind of obvious that the only reason Conquest won that fight is because of plot. And like he literally just
Conquest didn't win the fight.
Mark,
you mean Mark?
Mark won the fight?
I assume.
But it was because of plot. Because
okay, now let me.
Okay, so it was literally just because, right? Plot nerfed Conquest randomly. His stats got worse, and then he died.
The plot nerf. Those who know why there's a plot nerf.
Dude, there is literally no way to rationalize this without it just being like some inconsistency. Like pretty simple.
Or you can just get amps while fighting and invincible. Happens 300 times, and then we just act like it can't happen.
Show me a single like amp that Mark ever gets by just like fighting regularly, where it isn't like some rage amp.
This is exactly what the fuck we're talking about.
This is a rage amp. I'm talking about stuff beyond a rage amp. What he gets after is a rage amp, and then he's more nerfed. So why he would scale, I have no idea. No idea.
Wait, what are you talking about? At the end of the fight, he is fighting the utmost brutally, the closest to normal Viltrumite combat, and he is the most mad. So he performs the best. It's very simple.
Okay, I don't think you can prove that once you get mad past a certain threshold, you just get stronger. He's literally bloodlusted. He's trying to kill Conquest here. It makes no sense for him to just
would follow from there being any correlation. Any correlation between X and Y, that would follow from.
Okay, so there's a correlation, but that doesn't imply causation. Viltrumites are literally modeled after humans, so it makes the most sense for them to abide by human. They are not. That's literally true. At the beginning of the series, they are literally stated to be similar. They are
fucking not.
In regards to what, physical appearance?
Modeled after humans. Not just
in regards to physical appearance.
What aspect? Besides some supernatural aspects, they are basically humans.
Okay, so you just granted their supernatural
They don't have
aspects.
adrenaline. They don't have adrenaline. Viltrumites do not have adrenaline. It's stated. That's why Mark is able to do better. It is stated that they don't have adrenaline. It's in the, okay, search it up right now. I'm in the middle of a basketball rivals match. You can search it up. It's stated that they don't have adrenaline.
I'm just gonna ask someone else if they say that. If it says they don't have adrenaline, that's fine. I just wanted like a fucking like vouch or something.
Well, no, we already have precedent for them being distinct in some way, so you'd have to, make the argument. You can't just say, oh, well, they're distinct in some ways, so we can just assume this way is the same too.
Wait, no. So they're distinct in some ways, right? But those distinctions are literally highlighted to us, the reader. They would literally be hiding information from the reader by not introducing that element into the story. That's bad story writing.
Okay, what element do you think needs to be introduced?
Okay, the element that they can just randomly get stronger through combat.
Wait, you just granted there's rage amps, dude. Like 10 times.
Beyond rage amps.
Okay, that's what I think this is.
They don't even talk about rage amps in the story, dude. They don't talk about rage amps.
Okay, you granted they exist. I'm saying that's what this is. I don't know what the confusion is.
I granted they exist. They also exist in real life. That's something we can just intuitively figure out because they're modeled after human beings.
Wait, rage amps are not a thing in real life. What the fuck are you talking about?
What? Dude, when you get mad in real life, you literally get physically stronger. I don't know why you disagree with that.
Oh my god.
Just Bob. It's seriously on my time zone. It's very late.
Okay, we'll argue and then I'll continue that conversation. What do you want to talk about? Anissa holding back against Alan?
Yeah, that was our original debate. Yes.
Okay.
And I just wanted to finish it now.
Perfect. So, do you want me to relay the initial argument, or where do you want to start in that conversation?
Just say what you want to say, and as to why Anissa was holding back.
Okay, so we have high priors for her being above any random Viltrumite soldier. I can give you a scaling chain that would make that super obvious if you want, but it's very blatant on-screen stuff. We have high priors for her being above just random Viltrumites.
That's a made-up word, by the way.
What is a made-up word?
Just keep going.
Yeah. The made-up word in question. Okay, yeah. We have high priors for her being above random Viltrumite soldiers. They can damage Alan. She doesn't when she punches them. Assumedly, she's holding back. This is further made clear by the fact that she is expressly trying to detain him and not kill him. And she considers him to be complete fodder, so it also just doesn't make sense to go out right away anyways. There's like a bunch of reasons.
Okay, so I'm going to contest one of your earlier arguments where you said something about Viltrumite pride. You said Viltrumite pride.
Wait, I can't move. I can't fucking move.
What I wanted to say about that is, we see that when Viltrumite is given a task, they must do this. They must complete this task under all circumstances. For example, Conquest. He was sent to planet Earth to conquer planet Earth for the Viltrumite Empire under all and any circumstances. Same under going off of that, the logical then we would have to say, going by that logic, that Anissa was tasked with detaining Alan under any circumstances, right? Which would automatically...
Well, yeah, but to detain out, like, it just rules out killing. So you cannot detain and kill somebody. Those are two entirely different things. They don't work simultaneously. You can't detain a corpse.
So, I wasn't implying that she was trying to kill... what I meant by...
Okay. Wait, 1 second.
And what I was trying to imply by any circumstances was to detain him under any circumstances, a.k.a. trying to knock him out as hard as you can, or trying to fight as hard as you can. And when you said Viltrumite pride is a thing that Viltrumite is winning and they know they're winning. I don't think Anissa had something as Viltrumite pride. After she attacked Alan once, Alan had no visible damage. Alan attacked her.
Wait, why do you think it's why do you think it's a by any means necessary sort of thing? Conquest implies that's like a unique sort of order. Like, normally he wouldn't get that type of order. He says he's glad that this order specifically was to conquer Earth by any means necessary. He says he's glad that this is the specific order, meaning this is not like a typical order that a Viltrumite would get.
So the reason I would be implying then this is like a special order like the one that Conquest got is since Alan is considered as like the special European, the one and only European, the strongest European, which would automatically put him at give him such a reputation that he would have to have under any circumstances type of order, knowing that the Viltrumites know they have to be cautious. They
don't know they have to be cautious of him. Last time they saw him, they no-diffed him. They literally just one-shot him. They fought him twice before that, and they one-shot him both times. Like, fucking horribly just one-shot him. They don't think he's a threat. We get a flashback of Alan getting one-shot by normal Viltrumite, and then in the present story, before his little evolution, he also just gets one-shot by random Viltrumites.
So...
They also don't know Alan by appearance. He looks like every other Unopan. They all look the same.
No, he's really buff.
He's really buff after the evolution, maybe. He's like not even that big, early series. It's like kind of big.
Have you seen the other Unopans?
Unopans are weak as hell.
Alan kind of looks like me, like before the cut, kind of honestly.
Like dude, every single Unopan looks like Shinra. Like, they're all emaciated, bro.
Shinra's rotund, so they don't look like Shinra, but...
Okay, I'm sorry. They all look like C.
Better.
But we also have to say, think about the fact that after Alan got attacked by Anissa, which initially from that first attack had no visible damage, after that attack, when Alan first off gives a remark and says, "Wow, that hurt a lot less than it did last time," then goes to attack Anissa. Anissa perceives this, tries to block this attack, and still gets hit hard, as in her getting a nosebleed from one punch. Which
I don't think a nosebleed is very meaningful. Like, even in real life, like if a toddler hits you like in the nose, like you can get a nosebleed.
Yeah,
it doesn't require like a very high level of AP.
I don't think that.
What the fuck? Dude, I use Snatch Block.
You're fucking buns. You gotta learn how to time it. I'll teach you.
Gotta learn how to time it. So, I was trying to. What was that? Oh yeah, okay. So what I was trying to say is, with the whole nosebleed thing, I think her
I timed
trying
it.
to trying to attack Alan and not getting any results, as in no visual damage / visual results that actually result in him having any sort of physical damage done to him, and then her getting this such type of damage from one punch only would automatically, logically speaking, would automatically require Anissa to see, oh shit, he was stronger than I expected. Which she literally says, no, you know, is that strong, which would automatically make her have to log in because she's she would just get her ass beat. If she knows that she was gonna get her ass beat if she didn't do it. And
Well, no, she still underestimates him like demonstrably. Like she thinks he got knocked out by like the second punch, even though like really wasn't any stronger. Like she still is demonstrably underestimating Alan like really really bad. Like she punches him again and it's like, oh yep, he's knocked out. Just drags him away, even though the first punch did no damage. Like she doesn't think the guy's strong. Like even after getting hit once, she's like, oh no, Unopin is strong, and then isn't worried about him at all, and thinks he gets knocked out by a second punch. I don't know. She's just retarded. Like unironically, she's really really dumb.
I need to gather my thoughts.
Debate me on abortion, Gizbob. Stop ducking, stop dodging, stop running.
I don't do ethics.
This nigger, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
Nigga, you did it with Shinra.
I did it with Shinra because Shinra was begging. That was like the only reason I don't actually do ethics.
Nigga, I'm bored. Just debate me. It'll be fun.
And why is he begging?
I'm going to talk about it. He is begging it, by the way. But I'm going to talk about Invincible first, and I'll consider it.
I got to learn how to use this fucking style, bro. The timing is weird.
It's the most broken style in the game, like by far right now. It's easily the best in the game.
I have to learn how to time this jump though.
Once you get good at it though, it's like impossible to score on you. Like I just can't score on you at all.
Does it go to my cursor or does it like always just move me forward? I'm getting confused.
I'm pretty sure it just moves you forward.
Gizbob, the argument for pro-choice being true is that, when we abort a fetus, we're getting rid of one entity in the world, so it's more parsimonious. Fuck up, bitch, nigga.
Okay, but why does that put Krieg over Conquest? Why does that put Krieg over Conquest? I'm so confused.
He's a general. Conquest is a bitch-ass soldier. I don't think it applies to Conquest, but I think like Nolan and like Anissa are weaker than Krieg.
Yeah. He's stated to be.
Nobody stated stronger than Krieg.
Go do this weak ass fatal out there.
He stated the strongest, dude. Stated the strongest.
Who stated the strongest? Drag?
Wait. Like Gizbob, he's kind of cooking. Conquest theme. Listen, bro. I got to drop some elite ball knowledge. Conquest theme is called the second strongest Viltrumite. That's because fucking Krieg exists, man.
Oh! Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Craig actually he cliffs Thrag in every step.
I mean, unironically, I don't like Conquest being strong is cool. That's Krieg is just stronger than Nolan and Anissa though. Like they don't have anything going for them. Anissa does. Like Anissa's unironically strong. Nolan is like actually like a fucking mid tier. Like no dick.
Anyway, wait,
that's cat.
Yeah, you can handle him later, dude too. But let's face, you actually think Krieg beats Conquest, Gizbob?
No, I have Conquest over Krieg.
Oh, you're still dumb fuck for your Nolan placement.
He's just ass in the show.
You're a retard.
You being bad at reading isn't
this. Conquest is the oldest Viltrumite. Viltrumites get stronger with age.
Okay.
I
have Conquest top 1 in the show. Like, who are you arguing with?
Sasuke, that's not a good argument, but
dude, no. It's so peak, bro.
Strongest Viltrumite
it can't be.
Dies.
It can't be. It can't be defeated with like a single statement.
Why not?
That shit don't make no sense. That fuck nigga wasn't even near me.
Because, bro.
Oh, I'm not playing with that.
What?
Nigga feel like a bitch. Nigga foul ass. Nigga kill himself. Fucking faggot.
Alright, so,
What am I
so
reading in
listen, I'm
chat?
gonna rank the people in VC. Okay, so the best debaters in VC is
Dude,
one,
Hype Mom, shut the
Hype
fuck up, bro.
2, Gizbob. The second
Stop
best
trying to
debater in
fucking
VC is
steal the
Gizbob.
spotlight,
The
bro. Other
third
people
one
are
is
trying to do shit.
Jutsu. 4 is Are You Sure? 5 is Real Sasuke. 6 is Haram.
I don't care, bro. Alright, I guess I'll just go back to what I was saying earlier, since it looks like
You're a
that kid's done.
transgender retard. Shut the fuck
Yeah,
up,
shut the
pedophile.
fuck up. Yeah. So,
You're literally a
Let's talk about
pedophile,
Conquest
nigga.
Mark
You
scaling.
have 16
Yeah.
and your name is Zayd
yeah.
Rabbi.
So, oh my god, shut up, bro. Okay. So
You're a pedophile,
yes.
nigga.
You done?
You're a pedophile.
You get out
Everybody
of your
check chat?
system?
Maybe,
You're a
though. I'm
pedophile,
gonna be a pedophile, but I'm
You done being
totally
autistic?
Like,
You're a
I'm addicted to it.
pedophile, nigga.
But these bitches niggas
Okay.
suck. Fuck
So,
off.
What's wrong with being a
With-
pedo?
Bro, what's wrong
alright,
with that? Nigga? This nigga
bro.
wrong.
Hold on. Actually, chill out. Okay. So, rage amps exist in the show, right?
Yep.
What I'm saying.
We both agree.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, right? Rage amps exist in the show, right? Because of some human feature, right? Some human feature.
No,
Right. That's why.
rage
That's
amps
why
don't exist in the real world.
yes, they do. Literally getting mad triggers the fight or
Okay,
flight response.
point me to a Yeah, but that's not getting mad. That's the fight or fight response. That's making you strong. It's not getting mad.
Okay, so when we agree that rage amps exist, let me be more clear. I agree that rage can make you stronger, but I don't think it's because like the rage itself just makes your stats higher necessarily. I think that's because of like it triggering some process within you.
Okay, and that process is indexed to adrenaline, which Viltrumites don't have. So the manner in which they get rage amps is entirely different.
Yeah, but Mark is part human, so you can't prove that he doesn't have adrenaline.
We're not. Dude,
Prove
Kill
he's
yourself.
100% Viltrumite. Prove that.
That's not the argument. The point is that the rage amps exist independent. Holy fuck! I just can't speak. Rage amps exist independent of adrenaline. Very obviously.
I don't think you could prove other Viltrumites just have rage amps.
Nobody gets stronger. Like, okay, so what do you think like good examples of rage amps are in Invincible? You think it's like only Mark that ever gets stronger?
I honestly can't listen to their example where someone gets mad and gets stronger as a Viltrumite.
when Oliver's in danger, Nolan gets angrier. And
Nolan in question.
Putting
can you show
Nolan
me
on
that?
Praxa.
Wait,
Nolan
can you
when
show
he
me
dips
that?
Lupin.
Wait, can you show me that?
Yeah.
the one that like just beats the fuck out of what's his name? Is it Vulcan or Luca?
Lucan. Are you talking about Vidor or Lucan? Which one?
Lucan.
Smiles of them. Fuck you, Gizbob.
I hate when people ask me for Invincible like fucking scans, bro. Like I can't like screen record Prime and like get these like.
Exactly, dude. You have to go on YouTube for that shit. You actually have to go to YouTube and screenshot it because you can't like get the thing off of
Shut up,
Prime.
nigga.
You can't you use OBS for Prime or no? Like use OBS recording and just on
It's
Prime?
just black. It's just black.
My PC is complete shit. I don't know if that works, and I'm not gonna try it.
Just
I've
read the
tried.
manga.
I've tried to screen record. I've tried to record it. It just goes to black.
Just use your
Wait,
phone.
Sasuke.
Just record on your phone. No.
You can't screen record it. It's just a black screen.
No, I'm
Why
saying,
not just
I'm
read
saying
the
put it
manga?
up on your computer and record it on
Wait,
your phone.
Oh yeah. Why don't we just read the manga?
Haram, I'm gonna
Exactly.
fucking take a phone video of my fucking computer screen while I watch Invincible to get scans. Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah,
hey,
we
bro,
are.
it works. It works, bro.
I watch on my phone though, so it's like different. Like I watch the shit like on my phone or on my TV.
You're a faggot. You're
No,
a faggot. You're a
oh
faggot.
yeah,
You're a
wait.
faggot.
Hide, calm the fuck down, bro. You can just go on our
Shut up,
phone,
nigga.
I
Shut
get
up,
it.
Jew.
Shut the
Jew,
fuck up, nigga.
Jew.
You mad as shit, nigga. Go take a shower, nigga. You about to go box that shower. Nigga, shut up, nigga. Go box that shower, nigga. You smell like dog shit, nigga. You smell like dog smoke, stank ass boy.
Jew.
Yeah, nigga. Brush your teeth, nigga. Stank ass boy.
Jew.
Hide, I'm getting secondhand embarrassment. Stop.
Yeah, this nigga stank as shit,
Look,
boy.
You're
a
You gotta go
pedophile,
like,
nigga.
Dog
What
ass.
the fuck?
Bruh.
Why is the
Anyways,
pedophile
can we get back to
talking about
fiction?
embarrassment? You should be fucking embarrassed
Alright.
when you tried to groom a fucking 15-year-old transgender.
Did we get back to fiction?
Nah.
Yeah, bro.
He crashing. He crashing.
Oh, bro, twin crashing.
Crashing. Oh my god. Yeah, that is not funny anymore.
Go
Hype,
back to
shut the fuck
Invincible.
up.
Go back to Invincible.
I'm the best player in the fucking world. Jesus Christ. Okay, I know.
I just got fucked up.
No.
Just tell me
You don't
what
listen to that
just
song.
tell me
By
what
the
the
way,
fight
you
is
don't
so I
listen
can
C
look
instead
for
of
it.
D. I have to
Wait, what'd
change
you
this
just
fucking
say?
keyboard.
Wait,
Someone
just
You
tell
don't
me-
listen to that song. I don't know why you're singing it. You never heard that song.
Wait, I do listen to that song. What?
That nigga
Okay,
don't
name
listen
3
to that
lines.
song.
Go ahead.
You said what?
Give me the first verse. Go ahead.
Whoa, chill, relax, bro. I listen to the
Exactly.
song. I listen to the song.
Okay, wait. Name the first line.
It's like I think it's better now.
Yeah, he don't know the song. He don't know the
What?
song. He don't know the
Bro,
song.
I'm pretty sure it's
You
like
don't know
I
the
think it's
song.
better now. I don't like when the car go too fast. I get nervous around.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. You do know the song. He do know the song.
Exactly. Low key
Okay,
though.
he do know the song. Wait, I put flames on. I put flames on.
Yeah, he told me that. Because we were playing music, and then I was like, "What's that song?" It's low key kind of catchy. He was like, "Gizbob just put me on." I was like, "Okay." I added it to the playlist, but I had to.
Yeah,
That is the artist of all time.
nigga, I slapped the ball and I got money for it, but you still
He
make that
sounds
bitch ass
like
shot.
Juice
No,
WRLD and
big
Kid
deal.
Laroi put the one.
Yeah, well, the Kid Laroi is unironically his little ass son.
Mono.
Tell him about how to box butch to your paradox. You about to get blocked.
Mono. Beat up Gizbob, Mono.
I'm good, buddy.
Nah, I swear none of these can hold me. I could drive this bitch all the way to the paint. Watch, bitch ass nigga.
You know what, Gizbob? Debate me on abortion, kid.
Nigga, I died.
Anyway, so Haram, back to the high tier conversation.
Stutter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you just tell me the fight so I can look for it? Because
Oh my god, I see what you mean, the Bob.
Sasuke, what episode is the Thraxa fight? It's like season 2, episode 4?
Season 2, episode 4. Yeah, it should also just say it in the episode description, right? Wait, actually, no. You can search it up on YouTube. Just search up Omni-Man and Invincible versus Viltrumites.
Wait, what's the argument?
What's the formalized argument?
Beats Omni-Man, bro.
Yeah, that's fucking obvious.
Jesus Christ.
We're arguing about Mark scaling to Conquest. That's not even what we're arguing about. I like thinking Mark doesn't scale to Conquest is unironically brain rot. Like he just blows up the guy's arm on screen, and we're like, yeah, he doesn't scale.
He crushes his head into 1,000 bits.
He literally blows his fucking head up, and then we're like, oh, Mark doesn't scale to him.
Look at let's take a peek at Mark's
forehead. Skills to him there. I just think the plot is literally making him weaker for convenience.
The plot is okay. Do you understand the parsimony issue, right?
All right, bro. You do not know how parsimony works. The interpretation of the plot working versus the plot not working. It's like literally not an additional entity. It's an interpretation of one singular entity.
Is that really the response?
Yes, this is literally the response. Yes.
That's bro.
That's all. Oh God, your whole response after telling me I don't know how parsimony works is these are two interpretations of how the plot works.
Yeah.
If the plot does not work, we can't derive any scaling from any fight. That's what your view entails.
No, it doesn't. If the plot doesn't work in one instance, we can derive scaling from other fights.
Okay, then you're positing that this instance is derivative of a plot that normally functions. Sure.
The only issue is sometimes the plot will be inconsistent. That's the only issue. This could be
okay, so how do we know this is one of those instances?
Because the alternate interpretation is just less likely. It doesn't have like enough explained variables.
Wait, what does it fail to explain?
So it fails to explain how Mark actually got stronger, right? Because there's nothing.
Rage amp.
Yeah, a rage amp. It fails to explain that because this is something within the story that you're talking about. Under what I've like just said, it's never introduced, so that's just bad story writing. Obviously, right?
It's demonstrably the case though. Like it doesn't need to be explicitly like relayed verbally if we see it every time.
Yeah, a visual indication.
Like literally every time the guy fights.
A visual indication is fine. I'm saying until I see that visual indication, I'm like thinking right now that thing just doesn't exist.
Okay, well you would grant Mark gets rage amps, right? Like prior to this?
Yeah, sure. Adrenaline. One outline.
Nigger.
Adrenaline.
Those who know.
My God.
Yo, Gizbob, speaking of adrenaline.
Adrenaline and rage amp.
Yo, Gizbob, boy, speaking of adrenaline, let's run
fucking
Brazilian Funk Ox battle.
Yeah, fucking noradrenaline argument, bro. Like in 2025, this is what we're doing. It's just
Gizbob, run my phone. No, shut up.
The series was made by Robert Kirkman. Wait.
Stop
What's the problem with Robert Kirkman writing no adrenaline and still water into Invincible?
Mango.
All right, hold on.
And still
I'm
water?
just gonna mute High Cake Muff because this guy actually just won't shut the fuck up. Like he's so annoying. All right. So
I know you are. I don't know.
So real Sasuke, you said Stillwater at the end. Is that what you said?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so the offer can do that. My point is that's terrible story writing because you're introducing an element into the story which has never been highlighted. So the reader has to put 2 and 2 together to actually figure out how this thing happened. It's terrible story writing. It's actually like, genuinely terrible.
How was Mark getting stronger to scale to Conquest? Bad story writing. Like what?
No, I'm saying it's bad story writing for an offer to put something into a
still
story,
water.
but never like highlight
Okay,
it.
Haram,
So the reader just has no way of figuring it out.
the issue with regards to Parcel, again, when looking at the series, is going to be we know mechanisms by which a character can get stronger within a given fight. We know there are mechanisms by which they can be amped. We don't know of these magical mechanisms by which they can get nerfed to the point of getting their head blown up by somebody who couldn't damage them prior. We have no way to explain that. Using in-story elements, we have no way to explain that. But we can explain the inverse.
If I see an in-story element of like a fucking like a Viltrumite getting rage amped, I'll literally just say like you're right. Like that's pretty good. That's pretty much
okay. Then we'll just look at the Nolan shit. Just pull it, season 2 episode 4. I can't get like the hyper specific shit that I'm talking about, but just scrub through the fight. Nolan gets mad and starts beating the shit out of Lucan.
Lucan is like what's his hair color?
And then Nolan gets mad that Mark is getting fucked up and immediately blows up Thula's jaw. Like dude gets mad and starts like fucking them up like really bad.
Bro, y'all don't even.
Thula survives that, by the way.
Lucan is the blonde guy or what? Well, I guess he has orange hair.
Lucan is the black guy.
Vidor is the blonde one. Did he fight him in the cave? Did he fight him in the cave?
Yeah, Lucan is the one who fights in the cave. But Thula is also a good example. Thula is supposedly stronger than Lucan, who Nolan, again, can't just outright one-shot. Gets mad, punches Thula, and her fucking jaw explodes. Like, it's just really bad.
Wait, hold on. Let me see the Lucan fight. So he's fighting Lucan, he's punching him, and he hits him a bunch of times, and then... Okay.
Doesn't do shit, and then look what happens. Boom, just fucking cuts his stomach open.
He cuts his stomach open with a rock, though, and he's, like, flying forward. So
no, he cuts his stomach open with his hand.
Oh, his hand? Okay.
Yeah, he just swipes his hand out of his
then he like impales him on the wall with the spike.
Oh well, I don't see an issue with this specifically because with like this, if you don't like time your muscles, like you're not really prepared for an attack at that angle, then that fucking thing will literally not even be a problem. It literally won't even be a problem.
I'm sorry.
You think like actual like muscle tension is like a meaningful change to their ability?
Maybe not in the real world, but in this, I could see it because these guys are superhuman, so they have different
You could see it. You could see
it. Well, that's fine. They have different... Well, you were just granting earlier that they have, like, hyper-similar composition. But assume there is some sort of disparity in composition, which there has to be. Obviously, they're not just pure human. The major issue there is going to be, we know, at least, like, in real life, which is going to be the sort of inspiration for any of these combat-related stories. We know in real life the correlation between your baseline durability and the durability you gain when flexing your muscles is like a very, very, very minimal increase. And not even like, oh, it's just like a small increase because we don't have that much durability to begin with. It's small comparatively. Like the percentage increase that you would gain is really fucking small.
Yeah, I'm saying with this and specific, right? This can be one of those cases where like it functions different from the real world because we have like an actual like an example which like is explainable to sort of like explain the situation. Actually no, I'm just gonna say that this is like another like inconsistency. That's what I'm gonna say. I think that makes more sense.
Wait, huh?
Holy shit! Are we for real? Okay,
wait, Bob, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Wait, how do we even know he's like motivated, like he's rage damped here in the first place? Like, how do we know he just wasn't?
Lucan is about to kill Mark and his like little fucking baby, because he's not like when he punches him 2 seconds prior doesn't do shit. And then when we see like when we see Mark get stabbed by Thula, right? His punches on Lucan don't do a fucking thing. Mark gets stabbed by Thula, Nolan flies over and just fucking blows her jaw off with one punch.
Yeah, when he's like Mark. He like gasps.
Yeah, he literally just
he
flies all the way over there and just blows her fucking jaw off with one clean punch. He wasn't doing shit to Lucan with his punches.
That animation is fucking terrible,
I mean, the way he kills Lucan is kind of different from his punches. He like slices him open.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying though. Is like if we grant that the soldiers are relative, which is like very obvious. If not, Thula is stronger. She seems to think she's stronger than Lucan. Because Nolan just says Lucan was weak, and Thula's like, "Yep, true."
I don't think that's.
I don't remember that.
I think that's just kind of like because of their society. It's like, oh, if you die,
if you lose, you're weak. Is that what you think it is? Yeah. I mean, arguably,
I don't really.
They're like very obviously presented as relative.
I don't.
Unless you think for whatever reason Thula's durability is way worse than Lucan's, which is really fucking strange.
That's not even the point. My point is that originally you had said like, oh yeah, your point is that we see these people get rage damp, so you're implying that this rage is giving them some type of boost in strength, and then you resort to the Lucan shit when we don't even know. The thing in question is if his rage is giving him strength, so there's not like really any type of.
Well, something has to be this sort of cause for him going from not doing any damage to cutting his stomach open.
But
if you want to say that is caused by any number of things, that's fine. We have a direct punch-to-punch comparison later, and it's like really bad.
I can name something that can just make sense. Wait, hold on. I can name something that could just make sense out of all of this. Viltrumites just have like techniques that they use to kill people more efficiently. Like I think.
Okay, well that explain away the punch thing, though. Like where Nolan can't really do anything to Lucan with punches, but then when he punches Thula, her fucking jaw explodes.
Wait, this is
then again that's just that's what I'm saying. Like then again, that's just me not. I don't think you can even compare like Thula and Lucan in the first place to even like make any type of inconsistency out of that or like consistency for you.
You don't think the three soldiers are a relative? Is this like a agnostic like debatey take or like? If I looked at your tier list, you actually wouldn't have the soldiers next to each other.
I mean, next to each other doesn't mean they're relative, but...
It doesn't? In the same tier, one spot apart does not mean relative to you?
Fuck!
It doesn't have to, no. This is a measurement of just who's stronger, who win in the fight.
Y'all might be a dumbass, bro.
Okay, well, if you think Thula's on the lower end of that relativity... Let me see what the tier list looks like then, actually. Let's see if you are consistent with this. Okay. Or this is just like a debatey, like...
I mean, it's not. I'm just saying your point doesn't make sense because you're trying to say that these people are rage damp, and your proof of it is just assuming that it's a amping due to rage in the first place, which is that's in question.
Well, what do you think the amp is like? If you think the amp is due to something else, that's fine, so long as the amp is present.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's an amp present. I just think Omni-Man just always had this in his arsenal where he's able to one-shot. He just didn't have the chance to before. I just think there's stronger attacks that Viltrumites do. I don't think it's motivated by any type of rage amp.
So there's a disparity in strength between the two punches. He also punches Vidor, and it really doesn't do anything either.
I think there is a specific technique, but I think it's the chops.
The hand blade shit is different, that's what he did. But like the punches are not different.
I mean, that's fine.
He's just fucking punching
you're
the guy.
Trying to say
he also is like he's expressly against holding back his punches. Like
it's because
he just says he should fight.
Well, I'm not even arguing on the fact of the punches. I'm just arguing that you can't really prove it's just a rage amp. Like sure he can be relative of punches, but I'm just saying that instead of saying this is a rage amp, you could just explain it to just be another technique that Nolan had.
Well,
I don't really think it's
but to me that doesn't explain the disparity in performance between the fucking punch and him elbowing somebody in the jaw and like blowing their jaw off. But that doesn't explain the disparity. Even in real fucking life, you don't elbow significantly harder than you punch. It's like not a real thing. Like the hand blade shit, like maybe because that's like a completely different type of force output.
It's because they need someone like Wu-Tang Quack. That's why. Simple argument.
Yeah,
dude. Like all my point is that I just think there are things that Viltrumite have in their arsenal that is stronger, I don't.
Do you think the elbow is something in his arsenal that is stronger than a punch?
Yes, but that's not what I'm in disagreement with. Like, I'm not trying to make that as.
Well, I know what your response is. I'm saying like that's fine. Like even if I granted the hand blade thing, it wouldn't really change the argument because we still have other comparisons.
But you said it's a rage amp.
Yeah, I did say that again. And
it's a rage amp. But why does it have to be a rage
amp? In one of the 3 cases there, sure.
He's not saying it has to be a rage amp. He's just saying, I see this happen when this happens, so I think this is probably what happens. It's just a correlation.
Well, and that's like the whole sort of thing. If you think one of the 3 examples can be explained by something else, that's fine. Again, there's 3 examples.
One, I don't even think he fights. Does he even fight Thula? Do they go relative beforehand? Because I just don't even think Thula's that strong, to be honest.
He does better against Vidor too, and Vidor lasts longer than Lucan.
I mean, yeah. So
he crushes his fucking skull and throws him to the side. Bro.
I was gonna say he punches fucking Vidor harder than Lucan, and Vidor lasts longer in the fight than Lucan does. Like Vidor is just blatantly above Lucan, but is taking more damage from the punches. Something has to change.
This guy's Sonic's profile picture.
Wait, what'd you say?
I was saying like Vidor is like undeniably stronger than or equal to Lucan, considering Vidor lasts longer against Nolan. Yet Nolan's individual punches do more damage to Vidor than they do to Lucan. So even if you think Thula is ass for whatever reason, like that, there's not really like a good argument for that. It'd just be like a skeptic thing. The Vidor shit is very easy to prove. Very easy to prove he scales to Lucan. But he takes way more damage from the punches than Lucan does. So something had to have changed between those 2 instances.
So this is the thing that's probably going to be that inconsistency.
And then the inconsistency question, bro. Like just accept the amps, bro.
No, like it's some random amp that you're like figuring out because you're just like looking at shit. The offer's not highlighting this. That's like some relevant shit to the story.
What's relevant to the story?
You think wanting to protect? You think getting an external motivator and then performing better is something the author needs to like expressly say? Like, yeah, when they're more motivated, they fight a little better. You think the author needs to tell you that?
Yeah, because motivations in real life don't randomly make you just like go from like being weak to one-shotting people. Like what?
Kill yourself.
To be fair, Vidor and Thula both don't get one-shotted. They do get hurt pretty bad though.
I'm saying one shot, like obviously not one shot, just like death level, like blows, like lethal blows. I think that's like some relevant like information that the offer ought to tell us.
Well, yeah, but that would just be like some weird subjective standard where I think that's something you can infer fine. That'd just be like an impasse with regards to reviews. Like I think that's something that doesn't need to be explained. Do you think it needs to be explained?
I mean, no, because then I would just bring up explanatory power, and I would also just like get consensus. Like I would go for consensus. Most people would probably say, like an entire.
No, most people grant that there are amps. We can speak in reference to VCT right now. Like, would most people, like anybody who's watched Invincible in the VC, would you grant that there are amps in Invincible, like correspondent to emotional states, mental states, any of these things?
Yeah, I'll probably disagree.
Your rage amp, any of that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
Manny, you haven't watched this shit.
I'm sure most people would like probably agree with it. That you're like you would be like asking for that. But what I'm saying is like we're setting up this standard, right? Elements within the story have to be explained or highlighted if they're relevant to the story and the author intends to convey them. Otherwise, it's just poor story writing. Most people are going to agree to that, right? It's not going to be like some subjective thing. Everyone's going to agree to that. So then we just have to get to the.
No, I think shit that's easily intuitable doesn't need to be stated expressly.
Like a Nissan upscaling to Allen.
If it's easily intuitable, that's going to be based off of some information, right? If there's no information being presented, then the information.
Well, the information is, we see instances or like a wide variety of cases, right? In these cases, there's some sort of external motivation present, applicable to character X. Character X performs better. We see that a lot of times.
Yeah.
Oliver's a good example. Mark's a good example. Nolan in this case. There's a lot of good examples.
Yeah, but these people already had their motivations, and that doesn't really explain the discrepancy between, stuff in real life and how these characters would actually function, right? A story, right? Like in real life, you can figure out this shit. Like most of the stuff that you can question in real life has probably already been, sorry, I can't think of the word, but I guess it's just looked into heavily, researched heavily, explained heavily. There's a bunch of different theories for almost anything you could think about in real life, right? However, in the case of Invincible, right, if you're trying to convey a story to the reader, right, the reader has to be able to either figure out what you're trying to convey, or they should be able to come up with like a theory at least, right? You can come up with this theory, but I'm saying your theory isn't sensible, right? Because it supports poor story writing, and poor story writing is going to literally make the entire story have like a bunch of more problems.
The poor story writing thing is just something I wouldn't grant. It doesn't create any issues. If it's something consistent, then there aren't any issues. And if it's something, again, that can be intuited with relative ease, like just the most basic level of inference can draw these sorts of conclusions. And I don't see where the issue is.
Yeah, I'm saying that
what story problems would this create?
Yeah, I'm saying that these are invalid inferences, right? And these consistencies that you're talking about, these consistencies, I'm saying are inconsistencies. We're consistently inconsistent in this story, right? What's happening with that is a bunch of shit is happening where people are randomly going from like being relative to people that can hardly damage them to just one-shotting them and they're killing them. Well,
okay, so if I were to grant problem. This sort of view, would we be able to derive any scaling at all?
We can derive scaling. It would just be in the cases of like where something doesn't really have like anything that can really explain the phenomena without causing like major issues, which would make it less likely for like that view. Then
but I don't understand what the major issue is.
The other stuff would be fine, right? The other stuff would be fine.
Well, that's what I'm not clear on though. Is like, what is the major issue? You keep saying there's like some major story issue. I'm still not clear as to what it is.
All right, so the major story issue is, right, if you can't understand the mechanics of like the verse and stuff, then the reader doesn't really know what to trust, right? Now you could say, right, that typically if one thing is going to happen, then one thing's going to happen. That's a fine prediction. But for readers, right, once you lose their trust, it's extremely hard to get it back. So they're not really going to know what exactly is going on. So the entire story just collapses in on itself. Where if we have like something like, I guess a plot hole or like plot armor in like media, like fiction or some shit, where people think like Sukuna randomly like using a domain after like receiving brain damage, they thought that was plot armor, even though that wasn't. They really don't like that, and that makes people hate like the entire arc and the entire series. They think that the story will literally just make anything happen just to push plot. So there's no stakes. Everyone is just under the presumption that these people are going to win no matter what. And that's terrible story.
Yeah, but if this is something we see in most cases, and again, it doesn't create these sorts of issues, and we see this thing in most cases.
Yeah, I'm saying in most of these cases, you don't really have like some like explanatory variable to really make the view coherent.
What do you think is unexplained that leads to some sort of incoherence to?
So you're putting in like some new like I guess thing which is part of the power system, right? But this thing isn't explained, right?
It's not a part of the power system.
No, that's a part of the power.
This
system.
Is something you granted is corresponded to real life.
In real life, I grant when you get angry, adrenaline makes you stronger because of some like muscle shit. But
this is true in the case of Mark.
But we're talking about Viltrumites that don't have adrenaline. That's what.
Well, no, the broader topic is in reference to Mark, who you think has adrenaline.
Okay, so he has adrenaline, right? In other instances, he should also have adrenaline, yet he is not able to actually damage this guy whatsoever. That's a clear inconsistency.
You do realize adrenaline's effects are variable, right? So like any sort of increase is going to lead to an increasing output.
Yeah, but I'm saying in this instance, I honestly don't see much reason for why he would have like more adrenaline going through his body later in the fight than like earlier. And even if there was, I mean, I want to see some quantifier. I don't really see some. I doubt there's going to be some quantifier which is going to make like the adrenaline.
Quantifier is going to be derivative of performance.
No, I'm talking about like a quantifier of how like adrenaline actually works in regards to humans.
In regards to human, you're the one that granted that these sort of biological effects are going to be drastically different with regards to Invincible. This was your argument in terms of muscular tension granting higher level of durability. So we just apply that same sort of logic.
Muscular tension.
Bro.
So with that,
what the fuck?
So with that, honestly, that's fine. Let me just see like the adrenaline part.
Okay.
Okay.
Go on.
I think this is pretty like intuitive. Like if you're in a death match, your adrenaline is gonna be roughly around the same as when you're in a death match with someone else. When like someone else around you is like in a lot of pain and is on the verge of death. Like I think honestly, like no troll shit, the adrenaline you should be under in both cases should probably be around the same because your life is at risk. I don't see any reason why one would create like more adrenaline than the other. Your body needs as much adrenaline as possible for the fight or flight response so you can actually beat, the threat.
Yeah, but production and distribution of adrenaline is a process that takes time, especially given like the amount of adrenaline that you would need to affect a body with an infinitely greater tolerance would be way, way higher. So that same sort of time period that we would take for, production and distribution should also increase.
Yeah, I would just say that like for that, I'm pretty sure I could find this. I'm pretty sure this is pretty intuitive. For this, literally getting to like the highest level of like adrenaline distribution, right, from the output would just be within some short time period of like a minute tops, right? So given that, right, I honestly see no way you can reconcile like Mark versus Conquest, like that entire situation afterwards being, under a minute, because we literally get like live feedback of that fight on TV. Someone else like pulls up in the middle of that fight. There's like a bunch of.
Wait, where are you getting this under a minute thing from?
It's like the adrenaline. I think in under a minute you can probably get to full adrenaline output.
For a human with lower tolerance? Sure.
A human with lower tolerance. What are you saying with that?
Yeah, as in like the effects are going to be easier to trigger of a lower tolerance for the substance. Any given substance is going to have a much greater effect on a normal human than it is this fucking superhuman. Like, very obviously.
I don't see a reason for that. I think for certain things, like something damaging you as superhuman, obviously is probably gonna have like superhuman durability, so that process is gonna affect them less. But I don't see why like a superhuman is gonna have other stuff. You have priors for what?
We already have priors.
What does priors even mean, bro?
Just said.
We do.
What does that even mean, bro?
I don't know. Just agree.
Those with priors.
Making up shit like this is like calling something a warthog.
Like it's literally in the name. It's what comes prior, like pre-existing beliefs, assumptions, or knowledge that someone already has, right?
Using the word to define the word doesn't fucking help, bro.
Holy shit!
Is that confused or something? What is happening?
Sasuke is such a drone. He asks a question, gets an answer, and then is like, "Oh, I don't like that answer."
Hey, dude, that's not an answer, bro. That's not an answer to the question.
I'm sorry. When I'm talking to someone as great as real Sasuke, I wouldn't define things like that. I would be more respectful.
I don't know how you got a really good definition from Haram.
Hey, how do we
pre-existing knowledge or experiences is what it's indexed to.
He said it's what comes prior. Making up words again.
Elaborated, saying pre-existing.
Use the same word. Everything else is invalid.
You are.
Does this guy
really
not think
lost.
that there's a use and mention distinction or something? What is happening? You can just quote words part of your definition, right? Like it's fine.
Dude, it's like if I define a dog as like a really like
you said
furry,
you don't know what priors are.
No. Watch. If that's what it is, and I'm trying to like explain it to someone, and I'm like really four-legged fuzzy creature. It's like a dog. Like now they got no idea what I'm saying, bro. You know what I mean?
What? No, I think the other one made sense, right? They understand what a dog is, right? The four-legged creature you mentioned would give them some description. Is that a sufficient description or something? That's fine. Maybe you can
like a dog fucks him up.
To say that using the word somehow invalidates the entire definition, even if it's like giving you very much clear, descriptions. It's just silly. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, okay, silly Billy. Only the clown calls the shit silly, bro. You're a clown.
I don't. This is where you're retarded, and you just like.
I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying. You don't know what I'm saying.
That you know what you're saying.
Do you even know what you're saying?
Clearly, if I'm trying to educate you on that, yes, I do.
Or do you just like put the word in all the definitions of every word you have?
I feel like you'd like now move to different goal here. The goal here is to say, hey.
No, there is no goal here, bro. This is a fucking conversation. This isn't a basketball court, bro.
Said made sense, and you're struggling right now.
This is not a soccer field. There is no goal.
Some weird other further claim. That's not relevant. It's just
what's a claim?
Sort of relevant.
What's a claim? A claim is like a claim.
Is this guy retarded? He's gonna ask me what a claim is.
Claim is a good claim.
Man, a claim is like a claim. Yo, what's truth? Yo, truth is like it's like something that's truth. You know what I mean?
Maybe instead of having this conversation, you probably should like read on this. But
what's your definition of read? Is it to read?
Shut up, nerd.
Definition of balatro, real shit.
It's to like play cards like balatro.
I agree.
Sasuke, this is like 4 out of 10 rage bait. I've seen you do better.
It's working though.
How is that working? It's just like some retard hitting themselves with the lead pipe, and it's like, look at me, dude. Look at me. It's like, okay,
yo,
cool.
Who do y'all got between Alan and Battle?
You're right, Moxie. You are looking at me.
Alan in the show or in the comics?
I look so good right now. I look so good. You want to kiss me? I know you're looking at me and you like it. You love it.
Can you guys like return to the topic, or is this like instant like?
What's the topic?
Conversation.
Is the definition of a topic a topic?
And
it's like a retard movement wouldn't affect anyone, right? You're just like obviously obfuscating.
Avoiding the question. What's the definition of avoiding? Is it to like avoid something? Is it to like avoid something? I want to be
clear. This is like some behavior from weasel people that want to like conclude, right?
Yo, Sasuke, up with a name, bro. Is it to like with a name?
Is it to like a weasel? Is it a weasel? Is the definition of a weasel a weasel?
Alan versus Battle Beast in the show.
In the show, probably Battle Beast. I think Battle Beast does better against the soldiers.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so Gizbob, I just looked it up, and it's like, within like a minute.
But Alan also just isn't trying.
It's
Gojo.
Says within a minute. Hold on, it says within a minute. The body is probably going to release like the highest amount of adrenaline it would typically release if you're in combat. So.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but there again is going to be higher upper limits given superhuman physiology. There's going to be higher tolerance given superhuman physiology. This would just circle back to the priors for higher tolerance. Like, if we already have these sort of priors for higher resistance or tolerance to certain stimuli or certain substances, then it'd kind of be on you to explain why we wouldn't grant that.
No, security grants it within specific cases, but for other cases, right, such as this.
Okay, wait, why is it okay? That's my whole sort of thing is like what cases, when you say specific cases, what are these specific cases that you would grant?
Like in specific cases, I can like grant it because like for Battle Beast, for instance, like he's literally an alien, and you don't need to explain everything about alien biology. There's not really an issue with that. It just has to be sufficient enough.
This guy is also half alien. He's alien enough to have fucking alien superpowers. He's pretty alien.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm saying like for Battle Beast, for instance, he's like a different life form.
That's what I'm saying. Is like we could attribute the same sort of line of reasoning to Mark.
Yeah, but with Mark though, right? Every single time that we're seeing like instances of adrenaline, it's typically like more comparable to something of like that of like humans, not really something that like superhumans have, right?
Wait, what was that last part? I did not hear you.
Yeah, so we're comparing a superhuman to a human, and in the cases of the superhuman, right, both have adrenaline, and typically,
well, it's not even like it's superhuman with regards to like tolerance. To be clear, superhuman with regards to like these things like tolerance. Again, this is a mostly alien guy.
That's like one thing though, and in regards of like tolerances, and it's also tolerances and what's the other thing? The other thing was adrenaline, yes. Typically, it's shown to be more comparable to that of humans, like how humans are structured and whatnot. And that makes sense because the author is probably going to write people fighting how he imagines like humans fighting, to be honest, because that's his baseline. Imagining some entirely new concept, which like you don't already have a basis on, is, you know, more difficult. So in regards of this, if typically you're going to follow humans, then it's going to be most likely that in this case, you're going to follow, you know, human biology for the fucking
do
adrenaline.
They follow humans? Do they really follow humans? Because they fly.
Well, that's like my whole sort of thing is like there's like a lot of shit that's very inexplicable if you think most of the biology is human biology. It gets very weird.
I don't think most of it is human biology. I'm saying like most of the time it's going to be similar to human biology unless like we have like a direct contradiction.
Okay. Also, do you just to be clear, like before we get any further, do you think like the entirety of what like would influence any sort of combative performance, like in the sort of rage amp scenario, is purely indexed to adrenaline, or do you think there are any other contributing factors?
I don't really know. I mean, to be honest, I haven't seen 2 seasons, but if you have like some reason to think that there is like some stuff which amps you beyond just adrenaline, then I'd like to see that, and if it's like good, then I'd probably just take it. But
well, like I'm saying, like just even I'm saying in real life.
In real life, I don't see why. Like, I don't know of anything beyond like adrenaline that would like amp you.
Well, it's physically. Not again. When we say amp, this is just going to be like some higher level of performance. The rage serves as some sort of motivating factor that allows you to utilize pre-existing physical abilities to a higher extent.
Yeah, but rage.
So again, like the more mad you get, the harder you try. Essentially.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure if I look it up, I don't think just getting mad makes you stronger if you don't have the fight or flight response. Like I think if we have like a person who isn't capable of like exhibiting that, they're not gonna, there's like no way of like them actually like getting stronger by getting angry. They need the fight or flight response for that. But we can just look that up instead of just like arguing over some stuff.
Yeah, well, it's like it's mostly like an intuitive thing. Like I think like you should probably be able to understand this, right? Like imagine you're like super mad at somebody fighting them versus completely neutral. Just imagine you are completely neutral to somebody and fist fighting them, as opposed to being super fucking mad at them. Your performance is probably going to be a little different.
Yeah, but that already ties back into my interpretation of I guess what was this shit, like adrenaline. Like if the anger causes the fight or flight response because of adrenaline, you just saying that it's intuitive. I just intuitively think, sure, we're gonna get stronger when we're mad, but that's because of, you know, adrenaline. And
you can just look into it then.
Yeah.
And I was fucking you, and you was fucking me, and I was screaming your name.
Let's go to
and I was screaming your face.
My name is bitch ass.
And then I timed this kid out because no one liked Tick Storm.
Gizbob. Cake perm.
You know, you could have asked me.
Yeah, I just looked it up. Pretty much nothing like
that
I found would like work there. It's just weightlifting, nutrition, sleep and recovery, hydration, bodyweight exercises, core strength training, flexity and mobility work, hormone supplements, mental focus, consistency, and patience.
Wait, what are you talking about? Like, did you look up how to improve your physical strength?
Yeah, I said, what are some things that can make you physically stronger besides adrenaline? And it listed a few things.
Again, it's not like some actual increase to your upper limit. You do understand that, right?
Or just, yeah, but making you stronger. Like the way the question is phrased, like I can even type that into the prompt. Like just releasing some of your limit instead of just like increasing your upper limit. I think
that's what I'm saying. Again, you're able to, assumedly, in most cases with regards to anything, the more motivated you are, the easier it's going to be to access your upper limits of ability with regards to said thing.
All right.
When you are motivated to try, you try harder. That should be pretty clear.
I think he's trying as hard as he can, but I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm gonna look something up from ChatGPT, and hopefully it doesn't one-shot my argument. Let's just fucking hope.
You think he's trying his hardest from the start of the... Yeah, but that follows presupposing your view.
Earlier, but not at the start. When he gets mad and he punches like 10
Well, that's what I'm saying. That only follows if we were to grant your initial view. Like, if we don't grant that view, then that doesn't make any sense.
I mean, why do you think he would be like holding back? I don't see any sensible reason for why he'd hold back. I think he has every motivator to.
It's a subconscious thing. He just does that always. Like in the story, he just always does that. It's a subconscious thing.
No, that's not subconscious. That's inherently conscious.
What, holding back?
Yeah.
You don't think you can be limited subconsciously?
1 second.
You in real life are limited subconsciously, by the way. You cannot utilize the entirety of your physical ability because you'll hurt yourself. But that's a subconscious understanding that your body has.
Well, I think this can also just tie into our point earlier with the motivation thing. I think in both cases he has like enough motivation to try his absolute hardest. I don't see why he'd have more motivation in one instance than the other. Genuinely being honest.
What did you say? I did not catch that last part.
Yeah, it ties into what we said earlier, where if he has more motivation after Eve dies, then yeah, that would make sense. But I don't see why he has more motivation after Eve dies. When earlier he was literally like losing the conquest, he was gonna die. He had to go all out. He had to try his hardest. I don't see why he would be more motivated in one scene than the other.
He responds like just consistently throughout the series. It's true of a bunch of characters. They all respond a lot more potently, I guess you would say, to danger for other people than danger to themselves.
Danger to other people than themselves. Yeah, but that sort of just like doesn't make sense, right? Like maybe for like other races, but at least like how like I imagine a human would react to that. Like no. No way.
Can we clip that? Can we clip that?
That made complete sense. If I'm on the verge of dying and I need to kill someone in front of me,
I know what you said. It makes complete sense. It's just out of context. It sounds like you are a complete racist.
Yeah, he is.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah, I know humans can do that, but other races can't.
Dude, Gizbob, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I slid you down because you said some dumb shit about parsimony earlier, but this convo, like it restored my faith in you. I'm not gonna lie.
You were just fucking not right about the both you and Hyde said that shit and you guys were both not right. You guys were both fucking wrong.
Like the reason why people say a view is less parsimonious is because like all else equal, if someone like has $10, does it make more sense? It make more sense that they have $10 because they like worked for $10 or got that $10 for someone else, or instead they got that $10 because like a fucking alien from an alternate dimension gave them that shit, and then an entire army pulled up and just like was just chilling there. Like no, that's like positing a bunch more shit that intuitively makes less sense. But in regards of saying like someone trying or not trying, right? That's an interpretation. That's not an additional entity. That's not more or less parsimonious.
That wasn't what I said was less parsimonious.
Prove that.
I said positing some unknown nerf that we don't have like any sort of mechanism for, as opposed to an amp, which we do have a mechanism for. Like you would have to posit something that's not present within the story. I'm just positing something that is.
Prove that.
Oh well.
Did you actually like laugh at yourself saying "prove that" 5 times? By the way, like, I heard you start to chuckle.
That was not me. Now prove that.
Well, I'm not positing something that's like outside of the story. What I'm just positing, right, is that in the story, right, the interpretation of like physics being consistent or whatever, or like people having consistent stats, that is just like an interpretation. That's not something that's like.
Well, that's not what we were talking about. You said Conquest got nerfed because of plot. That was the claim.
Oh, plot.
Can someone just please hop on the game?
So for plot, right? So
Roblox.
So that kind of like gives off
Yes,
that sort of like gives off the implication that I'm saying the offer intentionally made Conquest weaker just so like he would lose. I'm not saying that necessarily. I'm saying he might have accidentally overlooked.
Wait, I'm gonna local mute Haram so I can hear you. Hop on what?
Well, accidental or not, it's something present within the story though. Like, so whether you think this is some intentional addition or not.
Fan of forces. Okay.
Okay, all right, I'm hopping on.
You know,
I can do that after I finish this round of whatever the hell I'm in.
Oh wait, hold up, wait, Pac, hop on BO6 until this nigga's done his game.
I don't have it downloaded.
Bro, what? Why'd you uninstall it?
We could also just hop on. We could also hop on RO Ghoul, but
yeah, no, I'm only hopping on.
That's such a good idea. That's such a good idea.
That is a good idea.
Hop on Phantom Forces.
That shit is not a good idea.
Shut up, nigger.
It is. It just got like a whole entire revamp. Just hop on.
No.
Can we lead a VC with all these niggas in it? I don't really like being around black people.
Yeah,
listen.
Fucking Venus 2 and Chinks. Alright, yeah, go to the VC.
I don't want to be in a VC with Moxie either.
No, wait, no, just say it.
Imagine being scared of Moxie. You better get fucking bullied, bro.
Okay.
I'm scared. I'm scared of people who define definitions, dude.
Who else in here?
You know, bro, if I saw any of it in real life, I'd make second Christian. Legal.
Alright, Gizbob. I'm gonna respond to the parsimony shit. So, like, whether like something is consistent or not consistent, we're just talking about one thing happening versus another thing happening. If it's just one, then the number of entities are the same, right? So when you're talking about stuff outside of the story, I think you're just trying to say there that
I had this conversation already.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. You're positing a mechanism that doesn't exist in the story. Because there is some mechanism by which this character is quote unquote nerfed, right? You can't be nerfed without a mechanism by which you're nerfed. There is no existent nerfing mechanism in the story, so
you don't need to introduce like a mechanism. You can just like have the offer.
Okay, so you can just magically nerf your characters, and we would grant that that's like something that happens. Like we would expect that in a normal case, that a character just randomly got nerfed for no reason.
No, I think we have good cause for that, and for this, right? Like you can just randomly get weaker. It's fictional. It's not the same as real life, where that sort of isn't really expected because that's not the norm.
Wait, and that's not the norm in fiction. Can you point to other fictions where characters randomly get fucking nerfed with no in-series explanation?
No, I'm not saying
or no in-series mechanism.
I'm saying it's more reasonable.
Okay, well, if it's not the norm, it's not the norm anywhere. We wouldn't expect it anywhere.
No, I'm saying that it's more reasonable in fiction for this thing to happen because the offer can just write.
More reasonable than real life, yes. It's more reasonable than something that would never happen. I agree.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Right? So with this, 1 second. Hold on, I just got a foot cramp. Like no troll shit. God, what the fuck is happening? Yo.
I'm out here living though. Yeah, I'm out here living though.
Let's talk about a different topic.
Yo,
let's all hop on Roblox. Let's all hop on fucking Roblox.
My foot is about to kill me. Holy shit.
Bro, you too old to be playing Roblox. What game?
I am not. You can never be too old to be playing Roblox, bro.
Holy shit.
What game are you playing?
I don't know. I found some game that one of my friends was playing. I don't know what it's called though.
You don't know. You can check what it's called.
No, I'm in it right now. You can check what it's called. You have me added.
Capturing. It says
that would require like, a bunch of steps.
I'll hop on Roblox, but I ain't playing no anime fighting game, bro. Them shits is ass, bro. I know a lot of y'all niggas love playing them anime fighting games, bro. Them shits suck.
I'm not on an anime fighting game.
Right,
yeah, so
I actually like it. Considering it's you, I assume you are. Yeah.
You are on these shits more than me, by the way.
The main like reason for why I think mine is more likely than yours is because you're talking about the offer like actively hiding information from the reader, whereas I'm talking about the offer just overlooking something potentially and just like accidentally putting it in. That's fine. Like offers overlook stuff all the time. Like when you're writing like thousands of like pages and stuff, Like,
wait, there's nothing being hidden. What do you think is being hidden? Again, we see people get these sorts of mental amps all the fucking time in this story. This isn't something hidden.
But that's like, that's like a relevant plot detail. That's like saying
I did.
That's like saying
that again.
That's like saying that like it makes sense for like the offer to just like have Viltrumites be super fast without like explaining why. Like, no, that's an integral part of the story. The author ought to explain that.
The author does not explain why Viltrumites are fast. We just know that they are.
They're fast, bro.
It's stated that like Viltrumites have superpowers. That's like a direct like implication.
Oh, what the fuck? Wow. That's the same thing as saying they're fast. What the fuck?
That's not the same.
It's stated
thing.
that they have superhuman abilities, so we know why they have superhuman abilities.
Yeah, but that like actually gives the reader like some reason to think that this is the case. Whereas
as do visual indicators.
Visual indicators. I mean,
we see this thing happen 5 times.
It's a visual indicator, right? But my interpretation is just that visual indicator is just like some inconsistency.
Type shit.
This feels like RNG, bro. I don't trust this shit, bro.
Yo, W arguments, Haram, SpongeBob. W arguments.
It's an argument of all time. I can tell you that much.
An argument of all time, indeed.
I mean, you're either creating problems for like the entire story, or you're basically just having an.
There's not. You keep fucking saying there's problems with this. There's no problem with the fucking story.
There's a problem. You know what? Maybe there's a problem with your fucking scale,
like,
bro.
Someone who is like making a story which is like masterclass that like is world renowned that people are buying everywhere. That person, I would hope that they would have like enough competence to actually write a story and explain the shit within their story.
It's only correlated incompetency under some weird standard that is not shared.
No, it's a pretty reasonable standard. Like, I'm pretty
sure. No,
it's
it's not. When we see something happen on the fucking screen 5 million times, the author doesn't need to fucking put it in the story in dialogue. Like, we see it happen.
Sure. Well, the author doesn't need to. I'm saying that they ought not to, and I can probably cite you like some fucking like I don't know.
They ought not to. What? Whoa, the author ought not to what?
Yeah, the author ought. Can you knock next time, please?
Okay, don't worry.
It'd be really annoying if the author repeatedly just re-clarified something in the story.
Yeah, I'll lower my voice, please. I'm trying to finish my conversation.
I don't know, bro.
What?
Haram just got those. He got those crazy scales.
This shit is cooked.
Haram's argument is literally going against the story and fucks up the narrative.
No, but it's the story that's wrong, bro.
There only becomes a magic narrative issue if you like really want there to be one. There isn't one. But like if you really want this to be like some story problem and you like keep saying that it is, and maybe it will be in your there like isn't like an actual story problem with this. When we see X thing happen, like when we see X results in Y 50 times, and we can assume X resulted in Y.
Okay, thank you.
It's not that crazy. It's not that crazy.
Why do you think
make me
well, you said Battle Beast over Alan, right?
Yeah, I think Battle Beast just does better against the Executioners.
Nah, man. Alan one-shots the Executioner.
Why do people... He doesn't do that. He hits the Executioner like fucking 50 times. The one-shot never happens, but everybody thinks there's like...
That's not true.
It's like some weird Mandela effect shit where like everybody thinks there's a one-shot, but there actually just wasn't a one-shot.
It's a one-shot from only Alan Trust. It's not like the dude's getting his head crushed from the front and the back.
He literally so Alan punches him before that 50 times.
That's not what I'm talking. I'm not talking about the
like when his head explodes.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when he's having like an exchange with Omni-Man, and then the Executioner like punched away Omni-Man. Alan comes in, catches him, and then he like kind of just one shots him and knocks him out for a little bit, and then.
What does knock him out for a little? Like, is he like stunned? Does he like actually like go to sleep? Like what does this mean?
He goes to sleep and he wakes up and then he starts fighting with Omni-Man again.
Show me what you're talking about.
Oh wait, yeah. And then they're like, "Hey, look, there's now a hole in the ship. You think Battle Beast can survive in space?" You're talking about like that?
I can't watch the fucking stream. My shit is fried. Like it just will not let me. Yeah. Well, sometimes it's.
I've never been wrong on Invincible. I can vouch.
No, your Invincible takes are fucking horrible. But like, I believe you if you're saying it's like what happened.
Allen versus the vicious Viltrumites. Oh, man. Niggas fuck my dog up.
This Nissa agenda is just like the Rihanna agenda, bro. Like, can we please just stop putting women high on tier lists?
Wait, it's like unironically just true.
Hold on. I don't know. A lot of people say he was off guard, unprepared, or whatever. I don't.
Well, if he did just get snuck, then that's like a little different. It also like, it really didn't like. I guess it knocked him out for a second, but like,
kinda. It's weird. So he punches Nolan. Nolan falls to the ground, and then Allen literally comes from like the direction he flings Nolan in, which is right in front of him. It's not like Allen comes from the side and fucking knocks him. It's like Allen rushes straight towards him and decks him in the face.
Well, is it like this sort of thing where he's prepared, or is it like Allen just kind of flies in out of nowhere?
It seems like he's kind of unprepared.
like,
but
if it's ambiguous, then I would probably just err on the side of caution. I wouldn't even other punches don't do that much.
I wouldn't even say it's ambiguous. It's just the fact that like, it's not just. It would be kind of like iffy if it was all in one motion. But like Allen comes to like a slow down and momentum when he catches Omni-Man and throws him to the side. It just happens really fast.
Yeah, I think it's the disparity between this and like the other punches is just how much momentum he has going behind it.
Oh, so with like a big build-up that he might not be able to get in a fight, he can do more damage than Battle Beast does point blank?
Well, I wouldn't even say that, but
well, that's what if he does more damage than Battle Beast with way more build-up, then I don't know.
Yeah, but Battle Beast. Okay, wait. So, does this mean like Titan gets an upscale or no? Because Titan makes Battle Beast bleed.
Fuck Titan. My point is that Allen can knock out
Titan's
and
cool.
incapacitate a build. He's cool, but
well, yeah, with more momentum, but that I don't think that's like any direct scaling over Battle Beast.
With more momentum.
Yeah, again, doesn't he fly across like a big ass hallway to do this?
He flies across the room and decks him in the face.
It's just like a regular. It's just like a regular charge. Like,
well, that's what I think. Yeah, but
I mean, if you
Battle Beast doesn't ever do that.
I guess you can say, huh? I mean, that's fine. But my point is that if you don't want to argue, it's unprepared because I don't think like he's completely like unprepared for the attack here. If like he comes to a slow down, unless we can just say that he just gets blitzed and wasn't able to perceive it because it's all happening right in front of him. But like that grants that, and the fact that if you do agree with that, then he can just blitz him and just replicate this from that same momentum without him reacting. And also when he's on guard, he just completely just tanks the executioner's attacks. Like it's not.
He doesn't. Like, he gets blood drawn like every time he gets hit.
He's way stronger than him.
That's him doing that. Like he's letting himself be hit. Like when he has his guard,
you can't lower your durability. Like it's just a lot of thing. Like, you can't lower your durability.
I mean, you can brace yourself for attacks. Like
yeah, but this like, change that causes is so minimal. It's so minimal.
I mean, it's not. I mean, we visually see it's not minimal because obviously when Allen's letting himself get hit, he's drawing blood. But when he puts his arms up to block, like he's not like.
Well, yeah, blocking is different than getting hit in the face. Yeah.
No, okay. I think it's just like it's not even a lot of damage that happens to Allen. So if we're saying that it's like
literally says he was about to die.
Omni-Man says that if Allen just like let that continue happening, he would have like.
No, he said you almost died, and then Allen is like,
yeah, you almost got yourself killed.
Okay, so he was close to death, and then Allen agreed.
Well,
thanks.
No, he's okay. We're talking about close to death in the sense that he's not taking the fight seriously against the Viltrumite, and he's just letting himself get wailed on. Yeah.
Yeah,
like
then if that sequence continues for much longer, he'll die. Sure.
Yeah, without him putting up any resistance.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So
he just gets his head blown up.
The resistance in question doesn't change his durability. 5 Viltrumite punches and the guy's about. That's where we're at.
No, not
Viltrumite
5, and it's not. It's like after 5. It's like if he just lets it go on, like Junior said.
He literally says, "Oh, okay."
5,
what do you think almost means?
10. Almost. I think it's in reference to like the situation he was in.
What does that mean?
Just letting yourself get hit by a Viltrumite.
Yeah.
It's like if I go in front of a car, and then like the car, let's say it sprains my ankle, and my mom's like, "You almost got yourself killed." It's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
was that supposed to be the response? It's not even like half analogous.
What do you mean?
I mean,
it's not half analogous.
What's half analogous? Is there some arbitrary line here?
It's not even half analogous.
No, the point being, it's not fucking analogous at all. It was really bad analogous.
Dude,
it is analogous.
It is.
No, it's not.
No, like
okay, so we all grant like denotatively, fucking almost means very nearly, right? The very nearly died index to the analogy you gave is just gonna be you were close to taking a lethal hit, but the hit you took was not lethal, right?
The situation you got yourself in, you just could have died. It was very close. Put yourself in immense danger.
Almost does not could have.
You put yourself in immense danger. Yeah.
No, again, you are very near to dying. Almost, as in very nearly.
You want me to say should have died, would have died? Like what? I'm not saying. I'm not saying.
You are very.
I'm not saying.
If somebody is saying,
I'm saying like an 80%, 90%.
Then you are no. If someone says you almost got yourself killed or you almost died, then you are very near to dying, right? In the analogy you presented, the reason you're very near dying is because you narrowly evaded a lethal blow, right?
Yeah, you got yourself out of like a situation where you almost died.
You keep going in a circle. Holy
Wait,
fuck.
when does he even say? I was watching the video, so I kind of zoned out to what I was saying. So I wasn't tracking any arguments made. But when does he say he almost got himself killed?
I'm pretty sure they have a conversation after they kill the executioner.
But all that matters is that it's not limited to like the amount of damage you take is what's the almost.
It is indexed to this context.
How?
Again, I explained why your shit is
for someone who like almost died back there. You like air quotes by the way. For someone who like almost died back there, you recovered pretty quickly. I'm saying what Omni-Man says, jackass. For someone who almost died back there, you recovered pretty quickly. And then Alan's like,
so yeah, Sasuke, if it's another 20 minutes of beatdown that he could take, do you really think that's almost dying, or?
When does he even say almost?
Yeah.
I just watched it.
Almost is indexed to, again, very nearly.
Yeah, Viltrumites don't play. He might have chopped his fucking head off, for all we know.
Okay, so you could just chop his head off.
Yeah, because like G-Chain Quack, you would need someone like G-Chain Quack to take down Alan.
Okay, so you've devolved to trolling. Scale goes through. Fine. Guy can take some arbitrary level that's minimally above 500.
The actual scale goes to that being like it kind of displayed to be their most like lethal technique, which is like way above their punches.
Yeah,
so I think that's going to be able to do something to
Why
Alan.
did he almost die indexed to getting punched?
Because he was in that situation where that could have just happened and he would have been able to like do nothing about it.
Why not?
Because that's the situation.
We literally see the second he chooses to and get the guy off him.
Nolan gets him off of him.
You don't think Alan can? Okay, so do you agree Alan can't get the guy off him? It's like no matter how you interpret this, it doesn't look good for him. Like this is really bad.
I'm not seeing where he says you almost died. I just looked through like the clip 3 times.
It's after when they're outside of the ship. It's when they're talking telepathically.
Oh yeah.
Go back like 20 seconds. Go back like 20 seconds.
I can get. I literally just watched. Okay, sure. Maybe it's a little earlier.
So one last thing I just want to say. So Gizbob, the problem with like your thing is it has lower explanatory power because you're making an invalid inference because that like view of like these guys getting stronger when people around them are getting hurt. There's no like explanation for that in the real world. That's like some other thing you have to construe. So,
yes, there is. Yes, there is.
Hysterical strength.
Again, that's going to be indexed to a motivating factor.
Yeah, but we already talked.
Okay, I'm gonna definitely and watch your stream. I'm gonna definitely watch your stream.
Motivation is variable. If we see this thing is more motivating indexed to the series, then it follows.
Yeah, I'm saying in context, right? It makes the most sense, right? That he'd probably be at like pinnacle motivation, like either way.
Why?
Well, not pinnacle, but just enough to where like his adrenaline would be maxed out.
That circles back to it being purely reliant on adrenaline. This motivation is a factor removed from adrenaline.
No. Like, it can only really be explained by physical processes.
You don't think you can try harder when you're more motivated?
No, I'm saying in this context, he's already trying as hard as he can.
That
it's after they blow up his head when they start talking.
Yeah, he's trying his hardest because if he doesn't try his hardest, he's gonna die.
The video ends, but I don't think they say anything.
They do say something.
Yeah, bro, they do. Yeah, I agree.
If your life's at risk, you're gonna be trying as hard as you can to defend yourself. That's pretty.
He literally doesn't fucking do that on screen. He's getting like a beat down by Thula, and he has to be told to try harder.
Try harder? Discord reference?
Yeah, but in that case,
literally. Like, he has to get told to fucking dox people.
Yeah, but in that
let me look at a longer.
The clip ends earlier. I'll just go to the episode.
With the case of Conquest, he gets so mad against Conquest that he literally punches him repeatedly 10 times in the head to where like he's gasping for air. So that implies to me that he was like punching as hard as he could, and as fast as he could. So
you can exert yourself without punching as hard and fast as you can. You can exert yourself going on a light jog. This doesn't matter.
Yeah, but he doesn't even get tired 1 point throughout the rest of the fight. Like that, I mean.
Adrenaline?
Not tired at all, but
No adrenaline. Okay.
Yeah, but he already has adrenaline. His life's at risk. In this case, his adrenaline should be at maximum.
That would just be further reason as to why we'd accept that it increases over time.
How the fuck did you?
That wouldn't be further reason for why we should accept that it increases because you're making an invalid inference there. It's already at the max. It's not going to increase anymore unless you're positing some new shit.
Wait, why? You keep saying it's at the fucking max, and then your argument for it is the humans reach the max in 1 minute.
Less than 1 minute.
You do realize these guys are like way faster than light, right?
Yeah.
They are not faster than light, by the way.
If you're adding some new like superhuman talent.
Yeah, so I forgot who.
Yeah, if you're adding some new superhuman.
They traverse the fucking galaxy. This is not a new talent. They are that fast.
What does their speed have to do with?
I forgot Omni-Man does do that.
Omni-Man traverses the fucking galaxy in like a couple of days. Like,
if anything, that would support adrenaline being faster.
I forgot he stands literally like right next to a black hole, yo.
Yes, he literally goes to the fucking end of the fucking galaxy in like a day.
Okay,
travel speed, not combat speed.
If anything, that would support.
They literally fly like that in combat, bro.
If anything, that would support adrenaline being faster rather than slower because they need quicker adrenaline to fight.
Yeah, I can see.
No. What the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck? I can see.
Haram, SpongeBob, get off this point, man.
Yeah, actually, we all concede. We all concede. And when they fly in space, I forgot what it's. I think something's explained for it.
Anyways,
I don't remember. I think it's something really stupid. It has to do with their ears.
No.
Anyways, watch the stream.
No, that's like they can get their balance thrown off by fucking with their ear canals, but that's like a real life thing.
Also,
no.
Fucking ears to throw off your balance.
No, it's in the comics. It's explained like somewhere in the comics. It's not like Mark getting his ass.
Stream and loaded up some bullshit, bro.
I thought you were talking about like the Cecil shit where it fucks up his game,
bro.
No, it's like explained that Viltrumites fly because something their ears.
Wait,
it's literally a Discord
let me say one last thing.
Game, bro.
I know I said earlier that I'm fine with them having like some heightened like durability in relation to like muscles being like tightened or not. I'm gonna take that back because that's like not explained. So I think that's like dumb. I made like a dumb prop earlier. I'm gonna just drop that. Just so like my view is like.
Well, that's what I'm saying because that doesn't follow with the other stuff.
Yeah.
But okay, wait.
Like
then you grant rage amps for Viltrumites. Perfect.
Actually, the executioners that we see are low-key like above Anissa.
I don't know.
No, can we not say this bullshit? They're so ass.
I've been saying this.
Because Gizbob thinks rank equals strength. Executioner over soldiers. Executioner.
Yo.